Madam President.
This just happened. Towards the end of 2007, Rob and I were working with our parents in a company called Paddock. It was a property-focused company. We had found in this company that we started getting a lot of traction with online property courses. And someone gave us this piece of advice and said, what are the things that are closest to you? That the best opportunities are the ones that are closest to you. And at the time, we had been doing these online property management courses. And at the same time, we were also involved in a company called GetWine, which was selling wine online. And we thought, and we said to ourselves, well, maybe we can do an online wine course. And so we did. Because now we were getting into online education outside of the property industry, we needed a new brand. We needed a new company to do that. And so we brainstormed this idea to call the company GetSmarter. And in 2008, we launched the first online wine evaluation course with Stellenbosch University. And the result was 280 students, and GetSmarter was born.
GetSmarter is an online education company that partners with top institutions and corporate companies to deliver really effective online education programs. Sam and I naturally share a lot of passion for growth, both for GetSmarter and the individuals involved in GetSmarter and for our students. We really feel that by delivering effective education to our students, we can empower them and help them to grow in whatever their career ambitions might be, and even in their creative ambitions. And this theme of growth is something that's run really true for us throughout the organization and for our students.
Specifically, I think we've grown as businessmen, as decision makers. I can see that we are now going through a period of time where we need to highly value the decision-making process, because it's at the core of our growth. Where I used to be quite fragmented and unfocused and undisciplined with my decision-making, I'm now moving towards focus and discipline as a prerequisite to effective decision-making.
We're brothers first. And I think that we come with an 18-year history of growing up in the same household, of developing very tight relationships, of developing a lot of honesty with each other. And that has pulled through and probably been one of the most important success factors with the co-CEO relationship. Often when we speak to other entrepreneurs, one of their primary challenges is a lack of trust in their relationships with their business partners. And when you operate off a base of trust like we do in this particular co-CEO relationship, my goodness, you're never second questioning each other's intentions around something, that we're always coming back to what is best for the business, and you can just know and be assured that is the reason that we're driving forward. So for us, it's worked exceptionally well.
So tell me about your biggest mistake that you've made in this journey.
How much time do you have?
Can we use that?
As soon as you get out the way with your personal issues, that's when the real magic flows. And I think that really rings true for me and has rung true throughout this organization. When you're leading and where you are managing from a place of what's best for the business, as opposed to what's best for me based on my insecurities or personal agendas that I might have, you make much better decisions. But we're complex human beings, and there's all sorts of emotions that come into play. But when you can separate out what's best for the business from what's best for me with all of my crap, that's when you start running a truly wonderful business. There's so many ranges of what online education can be, all the way from essentially a content repository on a website that is fully automated and there's no human interaction, all the way to where we like to operate, which is where learning happens in conjunction with others. You learn from others, you learn in collaboration with others, and that sense of community is really what drives us from a student's perspective, and that's filtered through back to the way that we drive our own business. It's all about the people. The way that we promote individualism at GetSmarter is by really caring about the individual. We actively encourage team members to challenge the status quo, and to qualify that statement, not to go against the grain unnecessarily. If you lack alignment in where you're going, that's an issue. But if we are all heading in the same direction and people have different opinions and different approaches on how to get there, we actively encourage that. That's where you get that richness, that's where you get that diversity, that's where you make better decisions, because we are intellectually engaging with each other and coming up with the best solutions to whatever challenge lies in front of us.
A team member joined us, and 3 weeks, he was a video engineer, and he joined us, and 3 weeks into his employment, he had an idea. He'd watched the Harlem Shake video, which had just started going viral on YouTube, and he came up with this idea for developing our own Harlem Shake video. He made the suggestion, it was signed off within minutes of the suggestion being made, and then the entire company 2 days later participated in the Harlem Shake. And I think that's an example of how individualism, or at least the ability to lead, to the ability to be autonomous in the organization, bubbled straight up to the top. It was embraced by everyone. I think that speaks for a culture that Rob was mentioning earlier of individualism.
Sam and I have waxed and waned regularly over the years on this. I think there's a more egotistical part of us that would like to be the global entrepreneurs. You know, let's get out there, let's get smarter into the international scene, so that's when we'll be really taken seriously. And I think that as we progress as entrepreneurs and as businessmen, the sobering reality and the benefit of focus is becoming ever more apparent for us. We know that the best opportunities, this is something Sam has mentioned already, but the best opportunities are the ones that are closest to us. And for that, Africa has such a desperate need for high quality education delivered online. We feel that yes, we could put a lot of time and energy focusing on the international play, but rather let's stick to our knitting, let's focus on this market that we actually understand, that we're getting ever more familiar with, and let's start focusing on driving education into Africa at different socio-economic brackets.
I have two packages of wisdom. That's not fair. I'm not even that wise. But I have two things I'd like to say. The first is and this is specifically for entrepreneurs, if you're at early stages of entrepreneurship and you haven't found the project, the business that you want to dedicate your time and your effort to, experiment widely. Try everything and experiment quickly as well. And there's this principle known as the lean starter. And I highly recommend people make use of that understanding in order to give birth to projects and test them in the marketplace. Don't spend 2 years developing a business plan and developing something. Get it out in 2 or 3 months and iterate through that process until you find what it is that's working. And generally, I personally find that the indicator of what's working is when someone's willing to pay you for something. Once you've found that, a whole nother set of approaches takes hold, which is focus. It's the biggest mistake. I paid the most amount of school fees we paid the most amount of school fees in our business careers from not focusing. Once you've experimented and found something that has traction in the marketplace and that is giving, that other people will pay you money for, then go and focus and deliver on that.
Let's get into Africa.
Let's go there. More than Africa.
Let's go there. Perfect.
Fine. Good.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Sam.
And we are Youngpreneur.